they're always concerned. They're always in the process of the application and the implementation of the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they're not discouraged. لا يضرهم من خذلهم أو خالفهم. They're not discouraged or let down by those who actually contradict them or let them down and don't support them. They're fixed, they're strong on their fundamentals in terms of their belief. There's always a group in our ummah like that. لا يضرهم من خذلهم أو خالفهم حتى يأتي أمر الله وهم ظاهرون على الناس. Until the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will complete His amr. And the word amr is we'll talk about it a little bit, but it's very general here. Some people say it's Yawm al-Qiyamah, some people say it's just, it means that the matter of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this religion, the completion of it. حتى يأتي أمر الله وهم ظاهرون على الناس. And they are superseding people. They're always visible. They're always there. They're always relevant and noticeable. So if you open if you read the explanation of this hadith, this ta'ifa, this group of people, is explained in different. Every scholar says something different. Some people say these are the طلاب العلم. Those are the people who actually learn and teach knowledge and they maintain it. Others say Ahl al-Quran. Imam Ahmed says they're Ahl al-Hadith because he's muhaddith, so he probably he has a little bit more interest in this. Others, they say those are the mujahideen, those who actually protect. And I think it's all of it. This hadith is talking about the communal obligation. It talks about fard al-kifaya. So we all know that there's two types of fard, two types of obligation. There's fard ayn, which is something that everyone has to do it themselves. No one can do it on your behalf. Your salah, you have to pray your salah. No one can say, okay, you sit, you sleep, I'll pray Fajr twice for you. It would have been really easy for a lot of people. But no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He decreed it in a way that fard al-ayn, you should do it. No one can do it on your behalf. But there's another fard, and we're so good at fard al-ayn, by the way. We're good. As much as we think we're not, but we are. We get it done, and we're always here praying. We always try to make it happen. But the fard al-kifaya, the communal obligation, is where I think is the reason of nations and countries and communities to develop is by practicing fard al-kifaya. And fard al-kifaya is something, it's a fard. It's still on you and me, on every one of us. But there is an exception in that someone can do it on your behalf. Someone has to teach Quran and memorize it and teach it and pass it on. Someone has to memorize hadith and do it that way. Someone has to be a physician. Someone has to be an engineer. Someone. And if that's available, then everyone else is off the hook, right? Someone has to bury our dead and do all that. Someone has to build the masjid. Someone has to do adhan. These are things that someone has to do it, right? But the problem with that is that we all feel that, okay, if someone else is doing it, then I'll just sit home. It'll happen. But it doesn't happen. Someone is doing it. So you see the contradiction when people just say, if everyone thought that someone else will do it, no one will end up doing it. I think that's the issue. This is the hadith. This is the meaning of the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ is saying, that there's always one group of people. There's always a group. And they don't have to be all in one place, but it's not a group under one name. It's a group under one ideology, under one mindset that there are things that have to be done, and I have to go in and invest my time and my effort and maybe some of my money and some, when you see someone is doing something that serves the community and you walk in and say, Jazakallah khair, and you go, that's it, goodbye. Sure, dua is great, but maybe this person needs you with him, right? Actively. Because fard al-kifaya is how, if we didn't have fard al-kifaya, then none of this religion would have reached us, because everyone Sahaba would have said, well, okay, I have guidance, so that's it, I'm going to go and sleep. But no one, if you think about it, the Sahaba always marked the places where they were buried. And there's a reason why. It's for us to see how far geographically they went to do da'wah and to do outreach, right? At the borders of Istanbul, there's Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. He's from Medina. How far? if you think about it, there's and all the way in Iran and China and all the way in Egypt and Tunis and all these places, there's Sahaba who went far, far, far from where they were, way outside their comfort zone. They didn't need to do that. Someone else is doing it. But the Medina al-Munawwara was almost empty of those Sahaba. The minute the Prophet ﷺ passed, 99% of them were spread out and performing da'wah and performing fard al-kifaya, the communal obligation that we all have to be involved in. This is something. If my view on it, if we don't do it, we'll never move. We'll never progress. It's just we're going to stay. Because fard al-ayn is for your own development. You'll be fine with fard al-ayn. But fard al-kifaya, the communal obligation, is when we all, as nation, as a group, as a community, progress and move forward. That's a little bit of and I chose this hadith is narrated in multiple versions, but this is the shortest and the most general that talks about this concept of fard al-kifaya. And I hope this was of benefit. يروي الإمام مسلم في صحيحه بسند صحيح عن معاوية بن أبي سفيان على المنبر قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول لا تزال طائفة من أمتي قائمة على بأمر الله لا يضرهم من خذلهم أو خالفهم حتى يأتي أمر الله وهم ظاهرون على الناس. وصدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.